Goodbye, coronavirus. Hello, mass shootings. As Americans get vaccinated and we begin to finally put this virus behind us, people are regathering once again. And you know what that means? More mass shootings. America's shittiest pastime. In Atlanta, 8 people were gunned down by a white dude who I guess was having a bad day and decided to kill a bunch of Asian people. In Boulder, Colorado, people were shot by a guy who somehow got his hands on a gun 6 days ago and decided to use shoppers for target practice. Now, honestly, to be fully honest and with you guys, I absolutely hate talking about mass shootings. I used to cover them a lot in the news, and it's just one of those things that it's just such a tragic, horrific event. And I hate talking about them, but they happen, so we need to talk about them. First, after these mass shootings, there's calls for support, calls for healing, thoughts and prayers, if you will. And then it turns into a fight about gun control. Democrats call for more gun legislation with universal background checks, mandatory waiting periods, stuff like that. Republicans call for more guns because that's the way to fix all your mass shooting related problems, apparently. And for me, both sides miss the point entirely. Yes, we do need more gun legislation. In Georgia, there's a longer waiting period for an abortion than there is to go buy a firearm. That makes no sense at all. Hell, in some states, you can get a gun at a gun show with no background check whatsoever. And in Colorado, the dude who got the gun there, apparently he got his AR-15 after the NRA filed a lawsuit to block Colorado's assault weapons ban. So yeah, we definitely, absolutely need more legislation. At the same time, there's been a lot of mass shootings that, didn't become mass shootings because some good old Johnny on the spot had his handgun with him and could take out the crazy dude. There was a shooting here at a church in Texas a few years ago where, a guy walked into the church ready to go kill some people, and luckily a few folks in the congregation pulled out their pistols and killed him first. And so, it's not as easy of a thing as like, all right, let's just take the guns away. And I get that, yes, the AR-15 that was used in the Colorado shooting, people are like, let's get rid of the AR-15 because it's used in most mass shootings. There's a viral post on Twitter that I saw today that showed like all these shootings use the AR-15. But because it's, it's also one of the most popular rifles in America. And unfortunately, we can't just all of a sudden get rid of all those rifles, take away from everybody. I mean, there's probably, thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of those rifles in America. They're not going anywhere. But my main point is that this problem isn't as simple as both political parties want to make it. The real problem here is, why are people doing this shit in the first place? And the answer, to me, is that American society can be really, really cruel. I mean, you know this, I know this, and it seems like whenever we have these mass shootings, people aren't talking about anything to do with our actual society. They're looking for quick fixes like taking guns away. How many school shootings happened because some kid got bullied 24/7 and then finally snapped, right? It's a little easier to get rid of guns than it is to somehow find ways to stop bullying, which is a very, very, something that is very ingrained in our culture. I mean, you watch movies, you watch TV shows. I'm sure, you kind of experience this in your own lives, but it's kind of hard to just all of a sudden take that out. And most of these shooters are white guys. And they're also guys that are probably having mental health problems, right? Police are taking a lot of heat for pointing out that the Atlanta shooter had a sex obsession and using that as a possible motive for the murders. And that pissed off a ton of people who said it was obviously a hate crime. And you know what? Honestly, it does seem a bit racially motivated, just looking at everything above. But we haven't seen any of the evidence. We haven't seen this guy's house. We haven't seen this guy's browser history. Honestly, we just don't know shit at this moment, right? And police have come out and they've actually said there's evidence that he did have some kind of crazy Asian fetish porn thing going on. But, the fact is, we don't know. But that doesn't stop people from taking the story and jumping on it for their own political benefit. It comes about Trump and the Kung flu or the China virus, and maybe it is related to all the hate that Asians are facing because of the coronavirus. That's very real. But the truth is, we just don't know why this dude flew off the handle, and that's what we should be focusing on right now. And anyways, that's kind of what I think about all this. Instead of calling for more guns or less guns, let's figure out what causes people with guns to go on random shooting sprees. Because I think I've seen some articles out there that point out that there is a gun for every man, woman, and child in the United States. And they're not all AR-15s. Like, obviously, we need more gun legislation. We need more restrictions on people's access to getting guns. We need more mental health stuff. But it's not an easy fix of just, all right, let's just take all the guns away, then all the shootings are going to stop. And let's start treating the causes of mass shootings instead of just dealing with the symptoms, right? And using them for political reasons. Now, of course, I do want to extend my deepest condolences to the families hurt by these tragedies. No matter what your politics are, remember that these are real people who are burying their mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, husbands, and wives. And let's give them the respect they deserve and be honest about the real causes behind these mass shootings and what we can or can't do about them. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you saw some of these shootings, let me know about what you think about what happened. And, I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking out there. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for watching Citizen Pete. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that little subscribe button, maybe the like button, and hey, maybe, just leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think about all the politics and news and all the stuff that's going on in our country?